happening, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Hope you're having a lovely one out there. Today we're going to listen to the band Heaven 17. We're going to listen to the first track off of their debut album, Penthouse and Pavement, from the top to the bottom, released in 1981. The first track being We Don't Need This Fascist Groove Thang. We don't need it. Whatever. We don't need that fascist groove thing. So this particular album as a whole... here's the intro. Here's the intro. All right, now that you've seen that. Okay, so this particular... this was recommended by Todd Jackson, MMQC3JU. You gotta get a name, man. Hold on. Paris Simmons and BRXE. Brixie? BRXE. So thank you guys so much for the suggestion. Thank you for the recommendation. All of you had in some way recommended this album, and I'm just going to choose the first track off of it since it's the beginning. Just kind of makes sense to me. So yeah, I've heard of Heaven 17 from you guys being mentioned in the comments, but I haven't actually heard anything from them. So this is going to be the first thing I ever hear from the band. What are they like? Who are they like? I don't know. We got to find out. So let's go ahead and listen to the track. We'll talk about it after. Here we go.
This fascist groove thing.
Okay.
Evil men with racist views spreading all across the land. Don't just sit there on your ass and look that funky chain dance. Brothers, sisters, shoot your best. We don't need this fascist groove thing. Brothers, sisters, we don't need that fascist groove thing.
Okay.
Brothers, we don't need the fascist groove thing. History will repeat itself. Crisis point, we're near the hour. Counterforce will do no good.
It's so, I don't know, there's something off about it to me.
Hitler proves that funky stuff. It's not for you and me, girl. No. Europe's an unhappy land. They've had their fascist groove thing.
The production is very interesting. Is that a saxophone? What kind of bass solo is this?
Democrats are out of power. Across that blue wide ocean, Reagan's president-elect, fascist God in motion. Generals tell him what to do. Stop your good time dancing. Train their guns on me and you. Fascist thing advancing. Sisters, brothers, lend a hand. Increase our population. Grab that good thing by the throat and throw it in the ocean. You're real tonight, you move my soul. Let's cruise on the dance floor. Come out your hands and dance your dance. Shake that fascist groove thing. Brothers, sisters, we don't need that fascist groove thing. Brothers, sisters, we don't need that fascist groove thing.
It's a lot.
Sisters, we don't need that fascist groove thing. Brothers, sisters, we don't need that fascist groove thing. Brothers, sisters, we don't need that fascist groove thing.
And a guitar though.
Brothers, sisters, we don't need that fascist groove thing. Brothers, sisters, we don't need that fascist groove thing.
That saxophone is crying.
Sisters, we don't need that fascist groove thing. Brothers, sisters, we don't need that fascist groove thing. Brothers, sisters, we don't need that fascist groove thing. Brothers, sisters, we don't need that fascist groove thing. Sisters, we don't need a fascist groupthink. Brothers, sisters, we don't need a fascist groupthink.
Okay, hear me out. Not in the exact same day as this video coming out, but after we finish this recording session with this particular track, I'm going to listen to the next track. So I'm just letting you know right now. I'm going to listen to the next track on the album, which is actually the title track, after this, because I am deeply, deeply curious about this. When the track began, it totally threw me off with this weird repeating line and the way that it's coming in. And then even when the music kicked in, for me as a first-time listener, it kicks in a very unexpected way. I can't tell you exactly what it is about this track, but it feels kind of off or like different from what I've heard and what I expect, I guess, from something like this in a kind of synth-pop direction. I really can't tell you exactly what it is. It might be the speed of everything. It might be the layered production and the layered vocals with that kind of synthy echo behind it. But there's something very different about this, for me. But very, very intriguing. Like, I like this. This was the epitome of a track that on a first listen is a grower. On the first half, I was like, it's interesting and I'm curious, but I don't know. But by the end of the track, I was like, this has my attention. I'm kind of curious to see where this goes and how the rest of the music develops and where it goes from here. Because the sound is to me, very unique. It's somewhere in between the coldness of a Kraftwerk and the warmth of a band, I don't know, let's say like Duran Duran. Like, it's kind of in between those, because you have those cold synthetics. You have, you know, that the sequencing, the drum machines or whatever. It might be a real drummer, I haven't looked yet. But then at the same time, you have those real instruments that make their way through. The saxophone, the way that it wails and cries underneath everything is used very, very effectively. The bass, when it changed and the bass came out, because you heard when the bass came out, it just completely tossed this track in and changed its direction, which I think was so cool. At first, I thought the bass was honestly like a synth bass, like someone just playing the bass on the keys. But when I'm looking at the actual Wikipedia article for this track, you're going to have John Wilson featuring on the bass. And he's also handling the guitar. That guitar is so sparky. Like, just so groovy. That feels really good. This is a great track. I really enjoyed this. It took me a little bit to warm up to it, but I got it. It's got my attention. Let's dive into these lyrics, because the lyrics do have something to say here. Let me get you guys here. Everybody move to prove the groove. Everybody move to prove the groove. Okay. Have you heard it on the news about this fascist groove thing? Evil men with racist views spreading all across the land. Don't just sit there on your butt.
Watch your profanity.
Unlock that funky chain dance. Brothers, sisters, shoot your best. We don't need this fascist groove thing. We don't need this fascism in here. Get it out of here. Get it out of here. Brothers, sisters, we don't need that fascist groove thing. Brothers, sisters, we don't need that fascist groove thing. History will repeat itself. Crisis point, we're near the hour. Counterforce will do no good. Hot US, I feel your power. Hitler proves that funky stuff is not for you and me, girl. Europe's an unhappy land. They've had their fascist groove thing. So obviously it's just calling out against the spread of fascism and, you know, keeping that away. Democrats are out of power across the great white ocean. Reagan's president-elect fascist got in motion. Generals tell him what to do. Stop your good time dancing. Train their guns on me and you. Fascist thing advancing. So, you know, taking down the arts, taking down, like I said, stop your good time dancing, stopping everything, training the guns, the sights on you. And you know how that goes from there. Sisters, brothers, lend a hand. Increase our population. Grab that groove thing by the throat and throw it in the ocean. You're real tonight. You move my soul. Let's cruise out on the dance floor. Come out your house and dance your dance. Shake that fascist groove thing. So first, I thought the whole thing was we don't need that fascist groove thing, but then here you're like, shake that fascist groove thing. So make up your mind. Let's see, it was the debut single from the album released in 1981 and the lead single. Yeah, debut single and lead single. Okay. It was a minor hit in the UK despite being banned by the BBC. It was also a minor dance hit in the US. I can 100% see it as a major dance hit. Let's see. Let's get into its reception, its banning, and all that stuff. Okay, this is kind of interesting. So reviewer Stuart Mason describes the song as clattering and jangled. That to me is a perfect, succinct way of describing what I'm feeling listening to this track and why it leaves me so, I think, cold at first, but then, a little bit further on, very interested in it. It says, the song was banned by the BBC due to concerns by Radio 1's legal department that it libeled Reagan by describing him as a fascist god in motion. I mean, I'll admit, not to dive into deeper waters, but I am always, I guess, surprised when I learn of a song being banned on the radio. Not because of, like, something crazy, I guess, is like, I don't know, not because of craziness necessarily in the, like, graphic details, whether it's violent, sexual, or whatever. No, it's just because it potentially libeled a person. Like, it's the beauty of art, Freedom of art and freedom of expression. There you go. Let's see. Despite the ban, it's reached number 45 on the UK singles chart, debuting on that chart, and peaking 1 week later. And of course, it has some other information here as well. Really, really good track, though. That, like I said, I'm going to listen to the next one because I'm very curious to see how this goes. But, for you guys, if you're watching this on the day it came out, the next song's not going to come out like tomorrow, probably. I like to spread things out just a little bit. So let me know your thoughts, though, in the comments down below. You can follow me over on Twitter, support the channel on Patreon. Thank you so much for being here. Come back tomorrow, and I will see you all then. Bye, guys.